The greatest stock picker in history just retired, and his final message to every investor on the planet was, "Don't pick stocks." Warren Buffett walked away from Berkshire Hathaway after 60 years, and instead of some secret formula, he left behind a dead simple three-fund blueprint that's actually crushing the market right now in 2026. One of these funds is up nearly 13% this year, while the S&P 500 is down. And the craziest part? All three combined cost you less than a cup of coffee per year. Today, I'm breaking down the exact 3 ETFs Buffett would buy, and the real math behind what this could mean for your retirement. Don't go anywhere. Before I reveal the 3 funds, you need to understand why this man's opinion carries more weight than every analyst on CNBC combined. Here's one number, just one. If you had given Warren Buffett $500 back in 1965 and just left it alone, that $500 would be worth $24.2 million today. I'll let that sink in. $500 into $24 million. That's a 19.9% compound annual return for 60 straight years, while the S&P 500 delivered 10.4% over the same period. No other investor in history even comes close. So when this man tells you what to do with your money, you listen. And what he told us is shockingly simple. If this is already clicking for you, hit that like button right now so I know to keep making these breakdowns. Let's keep going. Now here's where the story gets interesting. Because Buffett didn't just recommend index funds quietly, he put $1 million on the line to embarrass Wall Street. Back in 2007, he made a public bet. $1 million. He said a simple, boring, low-cost S&P 500 index fund would beat a hand-picked basket of Wall Street's best hedge funds over 10 years. These aren't your neighborhood financial advisors, by the way. These are the guys charging 2% management fees plus 20% of profits. The guys in the $5,000 suits telling you they're smarter than the market. Ted Seides of Protégé Partners took the bet. He picked 5 elite hedge funds. And the result? Buffett's boring index fund returned 125.8%. The 5 hedge funds? They averaged 36.3%. Not a single one beat the index. Not one. The smartest, most expensive minds on Wall Street got absolutely demolished by a fund that costs $3 a year. Let me say that again. $3 a year beat millions in hedge fund fees. Buffett donated the $2.2 million in winnings to charity. But the real lesson is worth far more than that. The people Wall Street pays to beat the market can't beat the market. And they're charging you a fortune to fail. But Buffett went even further. In his 2013 shareholder letter, he did something no billionaire investor has ever done. He told the entire world exactly how he wants his own wife's money managed after he dies. He said, put 90% in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund and 10% in short-term government bonds. He even named Vanguard as his preferred provider. Stop and think about that. A man who compounded money at nearly 20% a year for 6 decades is telling his own family, don't do what I did. Just buy the index. And at the 2021 Berkshire annual meeting, he said the best thing most people can do is own the S&P 500 index fund. The greatest stock picker who ever lived is begging you not to pick stocks. That should shake you. Now, in a minute, I'm going to show you the 3rd ETF in this portfolio. The one that's been absolutely on fire in 2026. But first, you need to understand why right now is the most important time to pay attention to what Buffett is doing, not just what he's saying. Because here's the thing nobody is talking about. Buffett isn't just giving advice. He's screaming at you with his actions. Berkshire Hathaway has been dumping stocks and hoarding cash at a pace we've never seen before. The cash pile went from $100 billion in 2023 to a peak of $381.6 billion. Even after a $9.7 billion acquisition in January 2026, Berkshire is still sitting on $373 billion in cash. To put that in perspective, that's more than the value of 477 of the 500 companies in the S&P 500. He sold $143 billion in stock in 2024 alone. He slashed his Apple position because the valuation got too rich. He reduced Bank of America. He's been a net seller for 12 consecutive quarters. 12 quarters in a row, without saying a single word about a crash. His money is telling you, his stocks are expensive, be careful. And the data backs him up. The S&P 500 Shiller Cape ratio is at 37.44 right now. You know what the historical average is? 16.04. The only time it's been higher than today was during the dot-com bubble. Let me connect the dots for you. Consumer sentiment has dropped below recessionary levels. Unemployment is creeping up. And the Magnificent Seven, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Meta, Amazon, Alphabet, Tesla, are all facing what analysts are calling AI capex fatigue. The market is starting to question whether the billions being poured into AI will actually pay off anytime soon. But here's the shift that matters. Value stocks are outperforming growth across the board in 2026. The average stock in the S&P 500 is doing better than the mega-cap tech leaders for the first time in years. Wall Street is calling it the Great Rotation. And guess whose entire investing philosophy is built on value? That's right, the guy who just retired. Now, if you're thinking, okay, I'll just buy an S&P 500 index fund and call it a day, hold on, because I'm about to show you why that could actually leave serious money on the table in 2026. Especially if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s. A single fund is not enough. You need three working together, and here they are. Fund number 1, Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol VOO. This is the core, the foundation, and I'm starting here because this is the only ETF that Warren Buffett has personally, publicly, by name, recommended for everyday investors. Berkshire Hathaway literally owns shares of this fund. Here's the number that should end every debate about active versus passive investing. Over the past 15 years, 92% of professional fund managers failed to beat this fund. 92%. Your financial advisor charging you 1% a year. Statistically, they're almost certainly in that 92%. VOO charges 0.03%. That's $3 a year on $10,000 invested. You spend more than that on your morning coffee. And for that $3, you get the 500 largest companies in America. A 10-year total return of nearly 290%. And a track record that has never, not once since 1957, delivered a negative return over any 15-year period. Not through wars, recessions, pandemics, financial crises, never. While Wall Street charges you a fortune to underperform, this $3 fund beats almost everyone. That's why Buffett picked it. That's why it's the core. But VOO alone isn't enough in 2026. And here's why. Fund number 2, Vanguard Value ETF, ticker symbol VTV. I call this one the Buffett tilt, because Buffett is a value investor. That's his DNA. Everything he's ever done is about buying quality businesses for less than their worth. VTV captures exactly that philosophy in a single fund. Large cap value stocks and financials, healthcare, industrials, and energy. The top holdings read like Buffett's personal shopping list. JP Morgan Chase, Berkshire Hathaway itself, ExxonMobil, Procter & Gamble. These are the exact types of companies he spent 60 years buying. Now here's why this fund matters right now. VTV is up nearly 3% year to date. The S&P 500 is down nearly 3%. That's a 6 percentage point swing in value's favor. The gap between growth stock valuations and value stock valuations is the widest it's been since the dot-com era. Growth stocks are trading at a PE of 39. Value stocks are at 22. Vanguard's own research team is projecting that value stocks will outperform over the next decade. And money is following. VTV pulled in $14.46 billion in net inflows over the past year. That's not speculation. That's billions of dollars of smart money rotating into exactly what Buffett has always believed in. The expense ratio is just 0.03%. The dividend yield is 2%, nearly double what VOO pays. And the portfolio turnover is just 9%, which means this fund holds its positions with Buffett-level patience. If VOO is the broad foundation, VTV is the tilt that gives you an edge when the market starts rewarding quality over hype. Now, fund number 3, and this is the one I've been teasing. If you're in your 50s, 60s, or you're already retired, pay very close attention. Because this fund might be the most important thing I talk about today. It's the Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF, ticker symbol SCHD. I call it the income engine. And the 2026 numbers on this fund are absolutely jaw-dropping. SCHD is up 12.83% year-to-date, while the S&P 500 is down around 3%. That is a 16 percentage point gap. Let me put that in real money. If you had $200,000 in SCHD at the start of 2026, you'd be sitting on roughly $25,660 in gains right now. If that same $200,000 was in the S&P 500, you'd be down about $6,000. That's a $31,000 difference in just 3 months. But the gains aren't even the best part. The dividend yield is 3.43%. On that same $200,000, that's $6,860 a year in passive income. That's a car payment. That's groceries for the year. That's money showing up in your account whether the market goes up or down. And that income is growing. SCHD's average annual return since inception is 12.92%. And its dividend growth rate is over 5% a year, which means your income actually outruns inflation. Here's why Buffett would love this fund. He's held Coca-Cola since 1988 and watched his annual dividend from that one stock grow from $75 million to $704 million. He didn't sell. He didn't try to time the market. He just held and let the dividends compound. SCHD does exactly this with 101 quality dividend stocks. The fund screens for cash flow to debt ratio, return on equity, dividend yield, and 5-year dividend growth, the exact financial quality metrics Buffett uses. Top holdings include Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Merck, Chevron, and Lockheed Martin. The sector mix is heavily defensive. Energy, consumer staples, and healthcare make up 56% of the portfolio. Chevron has increased its dividend for 39 consecutive years, and SCHD maintained its dividend through both the COVID crash and the 2022 bear market. It didn't cut, it didn't flinch, it kept paying, and the PE ratio is just 16.2 times, compared to the S&P 500's 28.5 times. So you're getting this income at a discount. For anyone approaching or in retirement, this is the fund that lets you sleep at night. So let's put it all together. 3 funds. VOO for core growth at 0.03% fees. VTV for the value tilt at 0.03%. SCHD for dividend income at 0.06%. The combined expense ratio across all 3 is roughly 0.04%. On a $100,000 portfolio, you're paying about $40 a year in total fees. Your financial advisor charges 1%? That's $1,000 a year on the same amount. And remember, 92% of the professionals that fee pays for can't beat the index anyway. You're paying 25 times more to get worse results. That's the scam Buffett has been trying to warn you about for decades. Now, how you split these depends on where you are. And I want to be crystal clear. This is educational, not personal financial advice. Always do your own research. But as a framework, if you're under 40 and focused on growth, something like 50% VOO, 30% VTV, and 20% SCHD gives you maximum compounding firepower. If you're 40 to 55, a balanced third in each gives you growth, value, and income all working together. And if you're 55 or older and income is your priority, flip it. 20% VOO, 30% VTV, and 50% SCHD. That puts half your money in the income engine while still keeping you in the game for growth. Let me make the compounding real for 2 different people. First, if you're 35 and you start putting $500 a month into this portfolio at the historical 10% average return, in 30 years you're sitting on $986,964, almost $1 million, from $16 a day. That's less than 2 fancy coffees. You're literally choosing between a latte today or $1 million later. Buffett would skip the coffee. The man still eats at McDonald's and drinks cherry Coke. Now, if you're 55 and you're thinking, I don't have 30 years, this still works for you. Let's say you have $200,000 today and you shift to the income-focused split with 50% in SCHD. That's $100,000 in SCHD alone, throwing off about $3,430 a year in dividends that grows every year. The other $100,000 split between VOO and VTV keeps compounding. In 10 years at historical averages, that $200,000 could be over $500,000, and your annual dividend income from SCHD could be over $5,500 a year, without you adding another dime. That's real money. That's groceries, utilities, a vacation, and it shows up whether the market is having a good day or a bad one. Here's the bottom line. The greatest investor who ever lived spent 60 years proving he could beat the market. And then he told you not to try. He said, it isn't necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. That's not a cliche. That's a $24 million lesson from a $500 starting point. You don't need the next NVIDIA. You don't need to time the market. You don't need to pay some Wall Street manager 1% to underperform a fund that charges $3 a year. You need 3 boring, beautiful, low-cost ETFs. VOO for the broad market, VTV for the value tilt that's winning right now, SCHD for the income that pays you while you sleep. Set it up, automate it, and let compounding do what it's been doing for the last 100 years. Now I want to hear from you. If you could only own one of these 3 ETFs for the rest of your life, which one would you pick and why? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one and I'll pin the best answer. If this video changed how you think about your money, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss next week's breakdown. And if you know someone who's been overpaying their advisor or overthinking their portfolio, send them this video right now. It might be the most valuable thing you do for them all year. I'll see you in the next one. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Always do your own research and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. ETF prices and returns fluctuate daily. Verify the latest figures before taking action.